They are in big trouble. They thought they could outdo you. They thought that they could destroy you, bury you in some mess, drag your name through the mud. They did a lot. Let it be known in the comments if you agree that the people that I'm talking about or referencing in this video pushed things too far. And they also thought, in a very diluted fashion, that they were not ever going to be caught up with. They weren't going to be found out. There was never going to be any consequences on their end. And they are seeing that not only are the consequences plentiful, they don't have anybody to blame but themselves. They're going to try to drag your name through the mud and make it seem like you're the reason why things went left for them. But it was simply their own doing that led them to this calamity now that they're facing, which is lack of forward movement, lack of progression, your blessings being taken away from you. It's a lot of things that they're fixing to lose now because they did too much negativity. They put forth too much negativity. They spread that. Like that's it, it's like a disease. A lot of these people out here, they move through life willing to spread negativity, no matter to who, for what reason, to what extent, to what degree. Like it's shameless. These are shameless actions. And so people thought that if they came for you and try to screw with you, that it was just going to be like, like every other victim, like every other person, every other situation that they were successful in. But you're the one that they couldn't get. And everything that was put up against you, any ploy, any scheme, any disrespect, right? That ended with you. And so it's quite jarring, right? Because now everything's switched, where the negative person in your life that could have really caused you a lot of trouble along your path, along your journey, they have hell to pay because of the extent, because thinking that, you were like everybody else and you were going to roll with the punches just like everybody else is forced to do. But you're not everybody else. And so now they're faced with the consequences of their actions and they don't like it. They don't like the feeling of having to pay for what they've done. They feel like they're above the law. They feel like they're above it. They don't have to pay the price. They don't have to bear the consequences because they never do, or they always evade, having to take accountability for the wrongdoings that they've perpetrated, right? So it could be like that. It could be to that degree where people are in big trouble and they can't take the trouble that they're in. They're going to start shifting blame, going to make it seem like you're the reason why. Once again, they're going to blame Tom, Dick, and Harry, but they will refuse to look in the mirror at who was the mastermind behind, what happened here, right? They can't escape accountability when they come for somebody like you. It's like, your foot was put down and a line was drawn in the sand. There's a border, there's a limit, there's a capacity level that they breached, right? And so because they breached that with you, they are in big trouble and they can't take it. They feel like it's not fair that finally justice is being served because of the wrongdoings that they've chosen, the path they chose, the pot they stirred, the lies they spread, right? The resources they stole or siphoned. It's like people are so comfortable doing you so dirty. And then when they get in trouble for their wrong deeds, they're acting like they didn't do nothing and that it's really you or it's something else, always trying to dodge accountability. But they're not going to be able, you can run, but you can't hide. This is a very well-known saying. And it's very true to these people who think that they could evade capture when they do dirty, when they do wrong, and then causing destruction and leaving damage, leaving consequences, suffering in the aftermath. There's a price to pay, so they're in big trouble. They don't know how to clean this mess up. They don't know what to do because a lot of times these people act on impulse. They do things in an angry way because they're jealous, because they're envious, because they're competitive, because they have a propensity to fight, because this is what they like, right? So this is what they do. And so people were probably thinking incorrectly about how you would approach the situation or how you'd react to the situation of them trying to screw with you or from them trying to mess you up or get you messed up in some way. So, they're in big trouble. They are in huge trouble. They did not think that they would ever see the day that they would be called upon to answer to their bad deeds. No one ever holds them accountable, but you do. And you don't have to demand accountability. It's the line that's drawn in the sand. It's like, okay, listen, you did this, right? So because you did this, this is on you. I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with it. That's on you, right? You're not going to keep playing me like a fool, but this is on you. I'm not cleaning this mess up. You did that. You deal with that. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care how you want to fight. You want to, it's like we rise above the situation when we don't play their game, right? That's how you stay ahead, is when you don't play the game. You know the game and you know what they do, right? And the negativity that they might spawn and how they draw you in. You have to realize and see that and catch yourself before you fall into that pit, because it is a pit. And it's a pit where a lot of miserable souls dwell. They don't see a way out. They're in trouble. They could have dug these pits for you to fall into. They could have done that, right? Trying to get you to be the victim, try to bury you. But in the end, they're the ones that are buried to their neck, right? With deceit, with lies, with misery, with drama, with nonsense, with stagnation, with lack, with no peace, no joy, no way for forward movement, a restless soul because of the trouble that they've caused. You know what I mean? Let it be known your own story here if you relate to the premise of this video. Who's in trouble now, right? Did you have to defend yourself in a situation? Are people paying the price now, right? After everything, was done? What's going on here, right? Please share your personal stories about how you might be seeing people around you that could have done you wrong or could have done other people wrong, and you could see the trouble that they're now facing. And always keep in mind that you're on the outside of this. You're on the outside. You probably have a bird's eye view of this mess, of the aftermath, of the craziness that you could have been a part of, but you were set free from now, right? So let it be known if you feel like you've been set free from the trouble that is now plaguing your enemies. Put it in the comments, everybody. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Mindset Elevator. I love you guys and I thank you guys. And once again, I really appreciate you guys helping the channel to expand, right? Like, I'm very thankful and I feel elated with the way that things have been going, right? And so let's keep going that way. Let's keep going up. I thank you guys. See you guys soon, okay? Bye.